I'm not feeling it.
Did you fart?
No, I didn't fart. All right. I want to do this intro. You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, listen closely because we're doing something a little bit different this time. Normally, while I'm doing edits, you focused? You with me?
I'm looking into your eyes.
Okay.
What more do you want?
All right. Normally when I'm doing the edits, I find something in the podcast that I deem, because, ultimately it's my decision because, I do the edits. I find something that I feel like is really funny and I cut that out and stick it at the beginning. But we're doing something a little bit different this time. We have a band that we want to talk about, Versus Angels. It's one of our good friends. We've known Worth for a very long time.
Ever since back in the ARC days.
Yeah, the ARC days. Well, he's in a band
There's a lot of people that are going to have no idea what we're talking about.
That's fine. I don't care.
It was a long time ago.
Like the ARC? You mean like that boat? Sort of. Yeah, it's like a boat, but not really. It was more like a building and people played music inside of it. If that's kind of like a boat, then yeah. But seriously, the band is called Versus Angels. We're going to be throwing one of their songs called We're Only Human at the end. I just let you listen to it.
It was really good.
It's really good.
I realize everybody has different tastes in music, so I can't, I'm not giving anybody no money back guarantee that everybody's going to love it, but I personally thought it was really good.
It is really good. But hang around after the show and you can listen to it. But it's Versus Angels. You can find them on Facebook. Just check them out. That's all we ask. Should we end this somehow? Because this is weird, right? Should I do like a movie quote?
No. Check out the song after the podcast. Stick around. Stay tuned. Whatever.
Okay.
Don't hit stop.
Let's just start the show. Welcome everybody to the Bob and Katie Show.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Bob. I've got a topic I want to talk about. It's very near and dear and close to my heart. I want to talk about fat.
I know a thing or two about that.
Did you hear everybody quiver just now? So like, ooh. Like when people bring up fat, it's such an awkward thing when you start talking about fat. And
well, I mean, I don't know about you, but I grew up, my mom taught me not to pick on people because of their weight, and I've always had issues with my weight. So yeah, it's not something that nice people go around pointing out.
And here's the thing, and we all know this, even nice people that don't go around and point it out, they think about it.
Well, of course.
I'm fat now. I've been fat since I can remember. And what a lot of skinny people don't know, and I'm sure that there's something in their life they may do this way, but as a fat person, you learn to live your life the fat way.
The fat way. The fat way.
I'm being serious. Like there's certain things you do and there's certain things you don't do. And there's some large people out there that don't live as if they're fat. And that makes it awkward for everybody. But that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about me, just me personally, and how I might relate to anybody else out there. An example. And before we get into that, I want everybody to understand that there's different things about people. Some people are drinkers. Some people are smokers. Some people are liars, gamblers, cheaters, and some people are eaters. I am an eater. That's why I'm fat. Not fat because I'm lazy. I'm fat because I like food. I'm also fat because I'm an emotional eater.
You are.
And I don't smoke. Sometimes I want to. Because I used to smoke, and life is stressful, but I'm an emotional eater. And this is how being an emotional eater works. You get upset. Just so everybody's clear, we all know that Bob gets upset. That's not an uncommon thing.
Everybody knows.
It's not news. Bob gets upset. So, a lot of times, how does Bob react? Other than punching the car? I eat. Because it makes me feel good. And you know what happens when you eat to make yourself feel good? You feel bad all over again. And it's just this vicious freaking circle that you just rotate through. But that's not what we're going to talk about. What we're going to talk about... Are you sure?
Because we've been talking about it for a while.
Only 3 minutes. What we're going to talk about is the things that I do in my life that I know that other people do. And I'm a pretty confident person. Even as confident as I am, I'm still self-conscious about the way that I look. Because it would be weird if I wasn't. And I believe that.
Everybody is to some degree. Even people who claim to not care what people think. There is some small part of every person that you want to be your best or something close to that. Most people do, I think. I don't know. Maybe I'm just bullcrapping, but I don't know. Everybody cares a little bit. Some people care a lot, but I think everybody cares at least a little bit.
At least a little bit.
At least a little bit.
Now, let's say that you're going to a restaurant. I believe, and I don't know this because I have been fat my whole life, I believe when a skinny person walks into a restaurant, they go, hey, in their mind, they think, I hope the food's good. Hope we don't have to wait a long time. Man, I'm really excited about this ratatouille I'm about to have. You know, something like that. That's not what I think about when I first walk into a restaurant. When I walk into a restaurant, I go, man, I really hope I get to sit in a booth where I can breathe. That is what I think about. I like booths.
It's the truth. I know it's the truth because we've had discussions about this.
I look at, all right, when I'm walking up, oh, good goodness. When I get ready to walk up to a booth, the first thing I do before we get there is I look at the ground to see if that freaking table is bolted to the ground because sometimes I need to move it. I'm fat. That's not anybody's fault but my own. But it doesn't mean I'm comfortable. Don't sit me at a booth where I feel like I gotta take a knife and cut myself just to slide in there and be comfortable. But it's the way that I live and it's choices I've made, and I try to adjust the way that I act so that I don't impose on anybody else. I care what people think just as much as the next person. Now, sometimes I care differently. Like, I want to know what they think, but sometimes I don't care what they think, if that makes sense. But I don't want to, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. I don't want to make other people uncomfortable or get in other people's way because of the choices I've made in my life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If I go to get on a bus and there's a seat and 3 people can sit in that seat, I'm not sitting in the middle. That's not happening. Right? Because that makes me uncomfortable on 2 arms because I'm going to be in both people's areas. I don't want to sit by the window, even though everybody loves to sit by the window because the window's a great place to sit.
Some people are aisle people.
You want to know why fat people don't want to sit by the window? Because if I got to pee or move, I've got to move my fat across 2 other people to get into the aisle. And it's just, I would just rather sit in the aisle, banging my elbow on whoever walks by.
How often are you riding buses though, really?
No, I'm just saying, like, I'm using this as an example. There's
I was gonna say, people that, you don't have the bus.
Look, there's big people that
I don't even think there's a bus that runs around here other than school buses.
There's big people that ride buses every day. Big people that get on airplanes. Big people that get in elevators. You know what it's like to be a big person on an elevator? You're in the elevator, right? You're fine. You're comfortable. Everything's good. And then the elevator door opens up because you stop at a store and someone wants to get on. The first thing they do, look at the fat person. Because everybody gets uncomfortable when there's a fat person on the elevator. Now, it's not their fault. It's not. It is my fault to some degree. But I learned to deal with that and I move on about my business. And, you know, I make good choices in my life and I make bad choices. And the bad choices I've made with eating it puts me where I'm at. Now, why, oh why, would I decide to pull you in here this afternoon and talk about fat?
I have no idea.
Obviously.
I do not feel like starting a diet today, so don't even go there.
Obviously.
I got brownies right in the kitchen that need to be eaten.
Those are nasty brownies.
You shut your face. You don't have to eat them. I will eat them myself.
I haven't eaten one of them brownies.
This is not going to be one of those, hey, let's go on a diet talks.
No, it's not going to be. It's not all right. Something happened to me today.
So get to your point.
Something happened to me today, and I want to share it with you. And I went through all of this other stuff just to try to put everybody in the mindset of how a fat person thinks. Okay? We're constantly thinking about what we look like and how we're perceived and whether or not we're getting in other people's way and if things are going to be easy or not. I got a lot of black shirts. I wear black shirts because as a fat guy, I like to sweat. And if I'm walking around wearing gray shirts, that stuff's really going to stick out. All right? How many black shirts do I got? Like
a lot.
10?
I don't
20?
know.
I got lots of black shirts.
All of them almost.
Not all of them.
I said almost.
I've branched out a lot lately. And somebody pointed it out to me at work. Someone was like, somebody said they were proud of me. They were like, hey, Bob, I'm proud of you. And like, I thought it was something I did at work.
There's probably a shirt that I picked out and made you wear. After 9 years of marriage, I've kind of almost given up because there's been so many articles of clothing over the years where I make you buy it and then you refuse to wear it.
I wear it like once and I'm like, I'm not comfortable. I'm not wearing this.
I don't like this. No.
You know what else I do as a thinking large person? I wear undershirts or tank tops and tuck them in. You know why? Because when you got a big old belly and you bend over, your booty crack hangs out.
I suffer
And
with that myself.
it's not, if I'm at Walmart, that person behind me, they don't deserve that. They didn't make any bad decisions. Why should they have to suffer because my butt crack hangs out? So the person at work, they told me.
Is this the person that was proud of you for wearing color?
Yeah.
Oh.
They said, I'm proud of you. I thought somebody did. I thought it was something that I did at work. And I was like, for what? And he goes, you're not wearing a black shirt. And I was like, oh, I guess it's super noticeable that Bob dresses in black every day. He's probably depressed or something. But no, this is what happened to me today. I got off work and I had some trash in my car.
No, not you.
Well, I mean,
not the person who's like, wait, are we going to take your car? It's just me and you. Mm-hmm. Are we going to take your car? Or are we going to take the truck? You can't ride in my car. There's not enough room because it's filled with trash and just random things.
It's not, all right, look, first of all, it's not like I've got a pile of garbage in my car. That's not what it is. Like in the back seat, I've got a bunch of puzzles.
It's stuff.
And
it's just stuff.
Yeah, I have tools that we work on the cars with, and I keep it all in my car because the truck, we got to put the stroller in there and all of that stuff. But for the sake of this conversation, yes, I was cleaning out some trash. I had lunch in my car.
You cleaned out your car. I'm proud of you for that. That's a way bigger step than you putting color in your wardrobe.
You might want to slow down just a little bit. I'm not saying I cleaned out my car. I'm just saying I took some trash and threw it in the dumpster. Well, today I wasn't wearing a black shirt. I was wearing a green polo. Had like some white stripes on it, which is a no-no for a big person, but I'm trying to get more comfortable. A lot of times with a big person, you're not supposed to wear stripes. At least the ones that go like around. Maybe the ones that go up and down, vertical or horizontal, vertical. But I had stripes, green shirt, super bright green shirt, and khakis I had tucked in. And I go to throw some trash in a dumpster. And for anybody that hasn't lit our Facebook page, I'm like 290 pounds. I'm a big dude. And I turn around and there's this guy. He's about 100 yards away, and he's got a bag of trash in his hand, and he's walking my way, and he's probably a good 400 pounds, 450. And you want to know what he's wearing? He is wearing khaki pants with a green polo with the white stripes, the exact same shirt
I was wearing. Are you serious?
Yeah. Now, this shirt is a shirt I bought from Walmart, so 15 million other people bought this same polo, and this guy.
There's probably somebody. Yeah. I mean, statistically, somebody listening to this right now has to own that shirt.
Now, this is where I want you to get in the mind of a fat guy.
Were you like...
A thin person would go, holy crap, that guy's wearing the same shirt I am. That is not what the fat person thinks. The fat person thinks, oh my God, there's another fat guy wearing the exact same clothes. If he gets close to me, it's gonna be bad.
Why's it gonna be bad? Like awkward?
Yeah, like awkward. Like somebody, like upstairs that can see it is gonna go, Betty, come here. Look at these fat twins in the parking lot.
Oh my gosh.
That's what's
I think you're
happen.
overthinking things.
I dove into my car.
Oh my gosh.
And threw it in reverse and got the hell out of there.
So that's not more awkward than just passing the two of you just passing by each other? Like, surely that guy is probably wondering, what the heck is wrong with that dude?
I don't care. It happened in a moment. My mind was racing 1,000 miles a minute.
It was fight or flight time, huh?
It was.
You chose flight.
I chose flight. Like in my mind, you know that thing on the wall in school that's got like, the monkeys and how they evolve into men. Like that's what I saw in my mind. Like I was going to be standing beside this dude and he's like, that guy was big. I was going to be like a mini me. That's what I thought in my mind. Like people were going to be like, come look at this. Look at these people throwing trash into the trash can.
Oh my gosh.
They look like they're wearing the same thing. They must work together.
You are seriously overthinking this.
Maybe I am.
You are. You really, really are.
I can agree with that.
We've had a conversation for how long?
14 minutes.
14 minutes. Just for you to say, hey, when I was going to the dumpster today, this guy walked up and he had on the same clothes I did. And I ran away. Like, it's taking you 15 minutes for you to tell me that. You're overthinking this. It's okay.
I know it's okay.
If anything else, you would have looked tiny compared to that guy. It should have made you feel better about yourself.
Well, it didn't. It didn't.
Why did that freak you out so
I hurt my
bad?
knee getting into the car so fast.
Why did that freak you out
I'm going to have
so
a bruise.
bad?
Look right there. Look, it's red right now.
So I take it this is one of our neighbors. You were at the dumpsters here at our apartment?
No, he lived in one of the front apartments. I don't even know why he was coming to this dumpster. I think he saw my shirt.
But he's
and
one
it was
of-
like a moth to a flame, and he was coming over, and he wasn't slow either. He was moving quick. I was like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And I
So
jumped in the
now
car.
this is one of our neighbors
Mm-hmm.
is going to think you are a crazy loon.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Because you was cleaning out your car and then all of a sudden jumped in your car and drove away when he was walking up to throw his trash away.
Yeah.
He's going to think you're a nutcase
I don't.
who has the same taste in clothes.
I can't go back and change it. Like, I can't.
Oh my gosh.
It's the way that I thought. I had a split second to make a decision.
Now I'm going to run.
Or go outside without me.
That is true.
You'll be fine. See, you're overthinking by calling me and going, "Hey, can you check the mail?"
I check myself sometimes. You don't understand how hard it is to go outside with two small children. I can't just leave. We live upstairs. So for me to go outside just to check the mail, that involves me going downstairs and then walking down to the end of the building. And what am I can't just leave the kids up here.
I think you mean you shouldn't. You shouldn't just leave the kids. Because, I mean, you can. There's people on the news all the time that leave their kids places.
This like the only time I check the mail is like when they're down for a nap, and I take the monitor with me just in case.
Mm-hmm.
And because it doesn't quite get signal all the way to the mailbox, but almost. I mean, it only takes just a minute to go down there anyway. But like that's the only time. And so if I'm busy doing something while they're taking a nap and they wake up, then that's when I call you and go, "Can you check the mail when you get home?" Because I'm not leaving them in here to destroy my house. Have you seen the destructive power that the two of them have?
Yeah, it's
the
phenomenal.
other night I was trying to cook dinner and I had to stop what I was doing and go in the living room with a straight face and look at my son and go, "Did you really just hit your sister with the coffee table?" That happened. That happened. You were there. You saw it. He flipped the coffee table over. I heard a thud and I heard Reagan cry. I go in the living room. The coffee table is upside down. So I'm trying not to laugh my butt off and look at him with a straight face because you can't laugh.
No.
As a parent,
it's like Pebbles and Bam Bam.
You can't laugh because that to him that goes. I
do it again. I should
flip this table over all the time and hit my sister
this table
with it. So I had to look at him and try to contain my laughter and say, "Did you really just hit your sister with the coffee table?" So yeah, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't always go check the mail. They would destroy the house, and like it takes like seconds for them to destroy a room. We have 2 bar stools in our living room. We have a little bar in between the kitchen and the living room, and we have 2 stools, and they're just simple like square stools, no back or anything.
We have them for now.
Those stools, we've had them for almost 5 years, so well before the children ever came along.
Yeah.
And
they were in perfect shape.
For about 5 or 6 months now, those stools have been sitting in our living room upside down.
Yeah.
Because with them right side up, they're top heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And the kids go to them and go, "I must flip them over."
Yeah, so they hit the ground and go. Our downstairs neighbors must just sit in their chair and stare at the ceiling.
Every time I run into them now, it's an elderly couple.
Yeah.
Every time I run into them now, they always make comments to me about, "I don't know how those 2 kids make so much noise." I was coming down the stairs the other day with the kids, just me and the kids. I was leaving to go somewhere and I ran into him and he said, "Oh, there's the kangaroos." They refer to our kids as the kangaroos because they said it sounds like there's a herd of kangaroos up here. And I feel so bad. I'm the type of person, I always consider other people. I consider other people's feelings. Like, I think of other people all the time. It's just who I am.
You do.
So it bothers me so bad to know that I know that we're disturbing them because I try everything I can not to. And that's why our bar stools stay upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who's ever come into our house, oh my God, the exterminator had to come in here yesterday morning. And I ran around, and straightened up the house. I mean, it was decently straight. But it's like, you don't think about things like that till you have a stranger in your house and you have upside down bar stools sitting in your living room. And he's probably thinking, "What in the hell?"
Now, here's the thing about these bar stools. Can you tell me how many times you've sat on those bar stools?
I don't sit on them. People come over and sit on them. We have them there for guests. I don't sit on those things.
I think I've sat on that bar stool like twice in 6 years. I think we just throw them in the dumpster.
The kids drive them around the living room though. They put them down on their side.
Yeah.
And they sit in them and they pretend that they're cars.
You're really not helping me change my mind.
I feel bad though. I would feel bad to toss them. It's kids, man. So speaking of the kids, kids are smart. And like, every kid, has different IQ levels and stuff. And everybody thinks their own kids are smart. But kids in general, it's amazing the things that they pick up.
Our kids are smart and beautiful.
That they are. But anyway, there's been lots of stuff that we've taught them. But then there's also been stuff that we did not teach them. It's stuff that they've actually learned from watching cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
Side note, I think we've talked before about how our kids are like completely obsessed with Toy Story right now. And Riley has started repeating lines from the movie.
When it happens.
We watch it like pretty much every day. It started with the part where they're in the machine, the vending machine thing with the aliens and the claw.
A stranger from the outside.
And they're like, that part where they're like, the claw. Well, Riley started saying that part. That was like the first thing he started doing. Well, recently, him and Reagan, it's the cutest thing ever in life. And if I ever have a chance to get it on video, I will, and I will share it with the world because it's so cute. But there's a part in the beginning and where Woody says, reach for the sky. And both of our kids together in unison have started, like, they'll say that part along with Woody.
It's awesome.
And they're both like, sky! It is the cutest thing. But anyway, they were watching this one cartoon. It was like one day last week. And I was like doing stuff here in the house. I wasn't paying too much attention, but it was on like Nick Jr. I trust pretty much everything on there. It's age appropriate for them, like little kid stuff. And I'm walking through the living room and I catch something that they're talking about on this cartoon. They were talking about velocity.
Velocity. The
cartoon was trying to like teach children about velocity. I don't think I could really explain velocity, but this cartoon was talking about velocity and the kids were watching it and I'm like, well, this same cartoon, it was just like 2 days ago. Same thing. I'm like in here in the living room and I'm only half paying attention. And then all of a sudden they're like, we need to do some structural engineering.
Building blocks.
I'm like, I don't even know if I could spell structural engineering. And
I can't spell building blocks.
I'm an intelligent person. And I was just like, wow, Willie, what do you say to that? My kids aren't even 2 yet. And they're watching the show that's, is made for like preschoolers. And they're talking about structural engineering and velocity and whatnot. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, pay attention, kids, because this is the kind of stuff mommy's not going to be able to teach you about.
I'm scared for when the kids finally come home. And it's probably going to happen around middle school. With some homework, and they're like, hey, Dad, I need help with this. And I look at it, and I'm like,
nope.
What the hell is this? This is Greek. I'm going to have to Google it. Like, I'm going to have to Google what they're working on.
And you know what's going to happen.
I'm going to have to make up some line and be like, hey, Daddy's got to poop. Give me about 20 minutes. And I'm like taking pictures of their homework with my phone. And I'm just going to disappear into the bathroom and try to figure it out.
What's crazy, like, the stuff that they teach kids in school, and like, they want kids to know things earlier and earlier now, like how to read. Nowadays, they're teaching kids how to read in kindergarten. Or even, they already want them to be able to read a little bit before kindergarten. I remember whenever we were in school, kindergarten, we learned shapes and numbers, colors.
And took naps.
And stuff like that. We didn't start learning how to read until like first grade. But now it's like kindergarten. They're like, all right, let's learn how to read. Let's learn how to do math. And I'm like, wow, like, they really push kids nowadays, and it shows. But like I said, my kids are not even 2, and they're learning about velocity and structural engineering, so. Now,
the kids are turning 2, and for anybody that...
Lord help us all.
Now, I know we have friends and family that listen to this show. So what we're about to say, if you're coming to their birthday party, don't tell your kids. We're gonna have a fire truck at their birthday party.
Yes! Like, I'm excited, like, the kids are gonna love it, but I'm like, I'm excited for myself. I'm like, I want to see a fire truck.
Now, the last episode, I told you, we talked about how Don came by with the fire truck to give me the CDs, but I left off part of the story. That was probably the best part of the story, and I don't know what was wrong with me that I forgot. When he pulls up, we're out talking, And I think to myself, because I'm at my parents' house and they're not there. My brother is, but my parents are gone. So I think to myself, oh, as a joke, I'm going to take a picture of the fire truck in front of their house. And I did, and I hit send. No text message, nothing. Just
your
sent
mom.
it straight to my mom.
That is so... Oh, that is just cruel. You should be ashamed of yourself. That is so mean.
I waited for a response, and I didn't get one. And me and Don were talking, and like, you know, just a little bit of time went by, and then finally he left, and I walk inside, and I pull my phone out, and I see where the message was sent. But in the area where my parents live, something happened with the cell phone tower, and it keeps going out. Well, I had no service on my phone. So the picture went through, and then my phone cut off. And then like, I was like, holy crap. And I'm messing with my phone, and then I get a couple bars, and I get a text message immediately from my mom. What's going on? Where is that? And like, I try to call her, but like the phone call drops, and now it's been like 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes of my mom just looking
panicking.
Yeah.
All she knows is there's a fire truck at her house.
So I can't remember where they were at. But
I'm surprised your mama didn't come home and beat you, bend you right over her knee and beat you, because, oh my gosh, that's not nice.
my parents have this magical thing at their house called a house phone. You don't see a lot of these anymore.
No.
But I picked it up, and I called her, and she answered. And
she panicking.
I could hear it in her voice a little bit. I said, hey, what are you guys doing? And she goes, we're coming home. And I said, oh, okay. And then like there's a pause, and she goes, what was that picture about? And then I told her, but like I could hear it in her voice, like whatever they were doing. And she didn't say this to me because I didn't think she wanted to like hurt my feelings or anything, but whatever they were doing, they stopped doing it and they started coming home because I sent them a picture of a fire truck outside of their house.
You ain't right. That's just mean. But you know what? I don't know how your mom don't just not believe anything you say or do anymore. As much as you play pranks on her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I got more fire truck talk.
Do you?
Yeah,
okay.
Just a little bit. One other thing that we talked about last week, we're going to be at the Riverfront Family Market on September 17th by the Battleship.
Across the river from downtown Wilmington.
Across the river from downtown Wilmington. And you said, oh, I wonder if they're going to have fire trucks. And I was like, oh, I'm not sure. Well, guess what? They are going to have fire trucks.
Really?
Yes. Don heard the podcast and he confirmed it with me that there were going to be fire trucks. So if you come down to see us, you're going to see fire trucks, battleships. There's going to be 90 vendors. We officially have around 5 or 6 prizes we're going to be giving away from different businesses.
Who doesn't like free stuff?
So it's going to be pretty awesome, pretty fun. And I've even thought about putting up a little sign that says, we'll tell jokes for money.
Oh my god.
Now I'm going to put a little thing on the bottom that says, last not guaranteed, because sometimes my jokes, you know,
smell poop.
Don't turn out right, but you know, we'll do the best we can.
Oh my gosh. That's all you. I have this problem. Like, I don't ever remember jokes. You're always like, tell me a joke. And I'm like, I can't think of a single joke. Like, my mind goes blank. I don't remember jokes. I've heard a million jokes in my lifetime. My lifetime. I'm
going to steal that. That's the best joke I ever heard in my life. Sound like I'm from like Milwaukee
I'm funny
or somewhere.
Didn't even know it.
It's that North Carolina funny.
Yeah, bringing that North Carolina funny, y'all. What's digital hell? Is that what that says?
Stop looking at my notes. You want to hear
notes?
You want to hear about digital hell? I'm
curious.
I was trying to figure out a way to like segue into the Bob o'clock news, and you did it
like
perfectly.
I'm looking at your notes. DUIBs? Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Digital hell.
DUIBs, love sick, and digital hell. That's what I have in store for you. And I wasn't sure if I was going to go through it, but since you brought it up.
Oh, I'm curious.
You want to go with digital hell first?
Sure, yeah, because I'm really curious. Welcome to the Bob o'clock news.
Okay, digital hell was a title I gave to a story that was shared to us from one of our listeners.
To me, that sounds like some new age, like, metal band or something.
Well, Andrew from England sent this to me, and he was, I can't remember exactly what he said, but he sent it and basically was like, you're gonna like this. So I read it.
What kind of weird story is this? I know it's gonna be like weird or crazy for him to think of you.
It is, I like it 100%. I like this story. So there's this couple and they're suing an internet IP address company for $75,000. And this is why. IP addresses can give off locations and addresses for police to track or, whatever. But they're not meant to be precise or exact. Sometimes you don't know where they're coming from. It's just a general thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's these hiccups where they have a bunch of them that don't have a location. So what the company does is go, we're going to send all of those to this one place. And it happened to be somebody's house. And for like 2 years, they've had raids on this house, like all kinds of crazy stuff because the police, they search the IP address and go, oh, it's this house.
Oh my gosh.
Like over and over and over again. And because it happens so many times, then the court system starts going, maybe there really is something happening at this house and we got to figure it out. So these people are getting dragged through the mud.
Just and to no fault of their own.
To no fault of their own. So finally the company realizes what's going on. They reach out to
Those
them.
poor people. Like that just sucks.
And they rewrote the program so that these addresses that can't have a specific area now land in the middle of a body of water instead of somebody's house.
Oh my god.
And I thought it was they basically said they went through hell and they might have said that, I might have got that name from out of there somewhere. Oh yeah, I sure did. Years of digital hell.
Well, that sounds like a very appropriate title. That actually reminds me of a story I just heard on the news the other night. We both did. We were watching the news right before we went to bed. It was just like 2 nights ago. Somebody had really bad luck with their home through no fault of their own. It was a house, that cars kept crashing into.
Oh yeah.
I guess where they lived, it was like on a curve or a turn or something where I guess it was easy for people to make a mistake and run into their house. And a car had just crashed into their house, a couple days ago. And come to find out, this was the 6th time.
Yeah.
The 6th separate incident of someone crashing their car into their house. To the point that the news said their homeowner's insurance, they canceled the policy on them.
And I didn't hear that. You told me that later.
Yeah, the insurance company was like, we can't keep paying out money for people to just keep driving into your house. They canceled their insurance. So I guess this poor guy has no insurance on his house that people keep driving their freaking cars into. So he's like, he's moving.
He's got to get out of there.
He's like, I gotta move. First of all, I couldn't imagine a car running into our home. I mean, that would be pretty awkward since we live on the 2nd floor apartment. But I'm just saying, like, having a car crash into your house, that's like a
we're
big
going,
deal.
We don't need roads.
That's a pretty traumatic thing. But this poor guy, 6 times.
6 times.
6 times. I don't know if he was home all 6 times when this happened, but could you imagine being home, just like you're sitting there watching TV and a car crashes into your house?
Now, it's not okay for people to make light of others' misfortune, to make fun of people. But what you do have to remember is that we do gear this as a comedy show. And here's my thing. If that was me, no way would I have gone to the news about that. No way.
Well, he might not have gone to the news. The news might have just heard about it.
Well,
I don't know.
All I know is if he's decided he wants to sell his house, I ain't buying it.
He's probably going to have to sell it. Because the news showed it, but it was only just briefly.
It's a nice looking house.
But yeah, it was a really nice house. And I'm sure he's probably going to have to sell it for.
Wait, aren't you the guy that
considerably
they don't allow
less,
you to have home insurance? Yeah, I'm not.
That's got to take your property value
way down,
straight in the toilet. If you're like, oh, it's a really nice house, but cars keep crashing into it. So yeah.
So the next topic, DUIBs. What do you think that's about?
I have no idea.
Just take a guess.
I don't even know. Like, I know what a DUI is. I know what Bs are, but I have no idea how they're in relation to each other.
Well, there was this guy, and he's out in his yard, and I guess he had like
Did he get a bee in his car?
The guy in the yard? No, he was in his yard.
Sorry, my brain...
You just got so excited. Slow down.
I was thinking, like, okay...
I gave you a chance to try to figure it out.
Maybe somebody got a bee in their car and was driving erratically, because I sure as heck would.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't do bugs of any sort, especially the kind that fly and can sting you.
Yeah. You're close, but no cigar.
Okay, guy in his yard, bees.
Guy in his yard, he was doing yard work or whatever, and he hears this loud bang. Boom! And he turns around, and somebody drove into his fence.
At least they didn't hit his house.
Well, they get out. It's a guy and a girl. The girl's in a bikini, and there's a guy and they just start going berserk and running through yards. And then they ran up to his house, I guess, and grabbed his water hose and turned it on, and they're like spraying themselves. And he starts like, he's like, oh my God, they're on drugs. And like, he's yelling at them. But as he got closer, he realized they were getting attacked by bees.
So I was right. The bees were in their car?
No. They were driving drunk and ran off the road and hit his fence. And in his fence was a beehive. And it had thousands of bees.
No.
And like, that was the one spot they hit with the car.
Oh my gosh. And I bet those bees were pissed. Like, you crashed a car into my house.
The worst part about a podcast is when you said the word pissed and rolled your eyes to the back of your head. It looked like you were looking at the inside of your skull. I hate that people couldn't enjoy that the same way that I did. But yes, needless to say, if you drive your car into a beehive of thousands of bees, they get a little upset.
The moral of the story is, if you crash your car into anyone's home, whether it's a man or a bee, they're gonna get pissed.
That's the moral of the story, not don't drive drunk.
Well, that's a given.
Apparently it's not.
People should not have to be told not to drive drunk. That mess pisses me off. Don't even get me started.
It's way easier not to drive drunk than it is to look for beehives. Like, I could drive sober and crash trying to look for beehives. You ready for some lovesick? That's the last note I got.
Alright. Don't you hate it like when your eyeball itches and it just, I don't know. You have to like scratch really hard, but then you can't see for a second afterwards. You know what I'm talking about?
Well, that was another thing I wasn't going to bring up because people couldn't see it, so they would have never known it was happening. But you're like sitting across from me, and I'm trying to go through this news article real fast, and I look up, and your finger is knuckle deep into your eyeball socket. And I'm like, you're going to pull it out in a second, and your eyeball is going to be stuck on your finger now.
My eyeball, I think it's allergies. I've been sneezing a whole lot. My eyes are, really itchy, and so I'm, scratching my eyeball. But,
well, I don't care how itchy your eyes are. You shouldn't put your finger behind your eyeball.
After you get done, rubbing your eyelid, I don't know. You're, rub your eyelid to, scratch your eyeball.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's, all, blurry and dark for a second. You know what I'm talking about?
I have heard of something that can help with that. Stop rubbing your dang eyes.
It's itching. It's itching.
All right, lovesick. Here we go.
Stars.
I know you're looking dead at me. Oh, is that a bad joke? Maybe I shouldn't put that sign up at the table, right? People that listen to our podcast, they're going to see my jokes for hire sign, and they're going to be like, "We're not giving him any money." But if you wanted to give us money, you go to our Facebook page, and at the top we've got a link for. Sorry, the look you're giving me.
I don't know what you want me to say right now.
Patreon.com. You go to Patreon and help support the Bob and Katie Show. Now back to Lovesick. So there was a guy in the Netherlands, and he met a lady in China on the internet, and they've been talking, and then they're in a relationship. And we know people that, have long distance relationships through the internet.
Hopefully it's not digital hell.
Well, he decided he wanted to meet her. And he said, hey, I'm going to fly to China so that we can meet. And he got on a plane and flew from the Netherlands to China to meet the woman of his dreams. Well, he gets to the airport and she's not there.
Probably because she wasn't a real person. Probably some old man or something.
No, she's a real person, but she's not there. And he waits and waits for her to show up. How long do you think he waited?
I don't know. I guess long enough this could probably be really sad. How long did he wait?
You tell me. Guess.
Hours? Days? Did she not show up at all?
She didn't show up at all. And he was going to wait for her forever. On the 10th day of being inside this airport, he collapsed because he's diabetic and had to get taken to the hospital. And then they flew him back to the Netherlands. And then finally they got in touch with the girl because the news is like, oh, we want to know what's going on. And she is a real girl. And what happened was she thought he was joking. And that's why she didn't show up. And then she went out of town. And where she went, she didn't have her laptop or whatever it was they were using to communicate. She had no idea this guy was even there.
Oh, that's just bad luck or something.
So in the movies, what would happen in the movies is that on the 10th day, he collapses, the story hits, it's on the news, and she's watching the news with her family, and she goes, oh my God, that's
Then
Steve.
she would go to the hospital.
And then she would go to the hospital.
They would see each other for the first time.
And they would lock eyes.
They would make eye contact, and it would just be like, oh, like, I guess they couldn't, like, run toward each other like you see in the movies, because he'd probably be laid up in the hospital bed. But they'd be like, oh, yeah, we finally meet, and then the end, happily ever after.
What really happened was she went, you actually flew here? And you waited for 10 days?
You crazy loon?
That's what really happened. But she told the news that she was willing to continue the online relationship, and they'll try to take it from there.
I'll chat with you online, but don't fly here. Don't fly here. Don't come meet me. I'm gonna leave you. I'll leave your butts in the airport.
Okay. To end the show, a couple things I want everybody to take away from me. First, don't always judge large people. And not only should you not judge large people, you shouldn't judge people of different colors, race.
How about you just shouldn't judge people at all?
Okay, you shouldn't judge people.
Let's go with that.
Because we all have a lot more in common than you think. And some of us are uncomfortable with the decisions that we've made, even if we don't want to make those decisions. So, as you could hear earlier, I put myself through my own hell about being fat without anybody else's help. So, we're good on our own. We're struggling with our own mind. So, be nice to people. I guess that's
And
fine.
don't wear the same shirt as Bob around him.
Yeah, because I will freak out. Don't be around me wearing the same kind of clothes. Don't do it. That happened to me at a meeting one time because I wear black polos and khakis, and somebody else walked in wearing a black polo and a khaki, and I was like, oh, I can't sit next to this person.
I think you and my brother were wearing the same shorts. Last time, like, we had a family get together.
Oh, that's because I bought them camouflage shorts from Walmart, and so did every other person that lives in Leland. So anytime I go to Leland, I run into somebody wearing those camouflage shorts. I want everybody today to find a reason to smile at somebody that's just a little bit different than you are. Find your laugh.
Find your happy.
So make-believe, I wish they all could see, but we've all gone blind in time for mystery. You're at the stake and it burns, oh it burns so damn slow. With every breath that you take, you'd be fire in your bones. Oh, but you're not alone. I'm not scared and I'm not going try attempt to make us all machines. All of the mouths we feed have been fed for days while others pray just to breathe. You're at the stake and it burns, oh it burns so damn slow.